time to KAS. I am your host, Kombat AllStar, and today we're going to be talking about Star Trek Discovery and Gotham City Sirens. Now, special request was Gotham City Sirens, but first, let's go into Star Trek. Okay, so we got this chick, what's her name? Sonquita Martin Green. I think I got that right. I don't know anything about her because I don't watch The Walking Dead. She's a big star over there, but she's recently just been cast for Star Trek, which is amazing, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty diverse cast. Again, you have the female lead as Captain, which has been done before with Captain Janeway. There's going to be gay or lesbian character on the show, and I'm kind of fearful for that because so even with Next Generation, I've never been a fan of like the Playboy characters like Commander Riker. I thought they were kind of low class, and to me, it didn't really move the story along all that much. But they did serve their purpose. They do have fans. Can't hate on them. But I am a little worried that they're going to use it as a writing crutch to get some of that stuff, and it's going to be focused on less of the person and more of the sexuality, which I'm not really into. And then and my other concern with this is, I hope they do good. I wish them all the success, but this is the first Star Trek that's not going to have Gene Roddenberry or anybody that worked with Gene Roddenberry on the previous Star Treks tied to this. Now, we all know that his son is going to be a big part of it, and he was influenced by his father and found out how awesome Star Trek was afterwards, but that doesn't make him an expert on Star Trek or writing Star Trek, so I am a little worried and concerned. So, we just have to see what happens with this one. My other concern about this is, with me, I'm a big Star Trek guy. I love all the Star Treks, some more than others. But my main thing was Star Trek is supposed to be like this federation, United Federation of Planets, right? And they're supposed to be made up of all these different species. So like the Vulcans and the humans, and it seems like they're the only thing that's a part of the Federation is Vulcan and humans. I would like to see more species. Now, I did hear that this Star Trek is going to have a lot more species that are going to be a part of the Federation, which is awesome, but I would have really loved the captain of the starship to be a different species. Maybe Andorian, maybe Vulcan. It would have been awesome instead of, always having the odd man out with a different species, the science officer. I think it's kind of a cop-out. But I would really, really like to see what they do with this and how they implement this. It's going to be interesting to see new characters and everything. But I really, really hope that we see a lot more characters that are actually going to be a part of the Federation. Aside from the movies, J.J. Abrams did, the Star Trek movies, he did have different species a part of the Federation, not the Federation of Planets. So I want to see that in the TV show. It's never been done in the TV show. I would like to see it. I have a lot of hopes, but I have a lot of doubts. So hopefully they prove me wrong. Hopefully this chick can act her butt off and she helps with the rest of the cast, which I hope is amazing actors. I checked out IMDb and I have no idea who these actors and actresses are. I've never even watched anything that they've been in. I've never heard of them, so I'm a little afraid. Okay, so moving on. The next thing I want to be talking about is Gotham City Sirens. And if you guys do not know, it was announced that Suicide Squad's coming, Suicide Squad 2. So that's just awesome for me. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I love the fact that this is kind of like the Guardian of the Galaxy of DC Universe. So with all the bad guys coming together to make it seem for good. We know it's not exactly the same, but in the DC universe, the cinematic universe, there's a lot of similarities. So they announced Suicide Squad 2. They announced they're going to have a spin-off of Deadshot, so Will Smith's going to get that. And it's funny because I'm not really a big Will Smith fan. I really don't like Will Smith at all. But there's some movies I do like him in, like iRobot and iRobot. But, Independence Day, I liked him in that too. But I'm not really a fan. I saw I saw Suicide Squad and I was immediately taken by the character. Did a great job. I'm looking forward to a Deadshot solo movie with Will Smith in it because of Suicide Squad. Before it wasn't sold, now I am. Harley Quinn is also going to have a spin-off called Gotham City Sirens, and it's going to be her. It's going to be her in it. And even though it's a Harley Quinn movie, they're going to have the normal sidekicks such as Catwoman and Poison Ivy. And the reason why I bring this up, why it's such a big deal, is because Poison Ivy has been a supporting cast member for so long for Harley Quinn. And it doesn't make any sense. She is a strong enough character to go out there on her own and have her own comic. I mean, she did before, it was successful. So did Vixen, so did Martian Manhunter. And this is what I don't get. I mean, there's a lot of characters out there like the Martian Manhunters, the Shining Knights, the Vigilantes, the Vixens, who's finally, I hear they're big up on Vixen, so she might get a new comic. But they keep ending these solo comics. They keep ending these comics of these characters for no reason. I don't understand it. I was shot an article about somebody who wrote what was going on, and I'll leave the link in the description below. The Hollywood, I think it's called the Hollywood Reporter. Let me double check my source here. Yeah, so it's from actually Bleeding Cool. I'm sorry. So from Bleeding Cool, it was a couple of questions that he asked. He's a part of the Poison Ivy League, and it's just important. And these are good questions. So the questions are: why isn't the character allowed to continue her storyline? Why isn't Poison Ivy allowed to exist in books other than Harley Quinn? That's a big freaking deal, man. If you have a character as cool as Poison Ivy, she needs to have her own comic. She needs it. And a little one-off 12-issue miniseries is not cutting it, man. They did the same exact thing with Martian Manhunter. It pissed me off. It's like, Martian Manhunter is always a supporting cast in Justice League. He was a supporting cast in another team. I can't remember their name, but it's crazy. It is crazy. Other question: why were Amy Chu's character development and plot points immediately dismissed from the continuity, and Poison Ivy's cast of characters are not mentioned anymore? Another great question. It's like they're trying to write her out, like she's not important enough to have her own comic or have her own universe. That's insane. That's madness to me. And the third question I thought was very, very interesting and a great question is: why do books with significantly fewer sales get renewed for Rebirth, and Poison Ivy not only didn't, but DC's request to prove your loyalty by buying the trade? So, I mean, DC went out and said, prove your loyalty if you like Poison Ivy, like, by Harley Quinn, which doesn't make any sense, because that's like me saying, oh, you know what, Combat, if you like Scarecrow, go and buy Batman comics. It's like, come on, dude, really? If I like Scarecrow, go buy Batman comics? That's a load of crap. It's not right. It's not there. And if you have, you have a league out there, Poison Ivy League out there, doing it, trying to get more books, trying to have them write about their favorite character. You mean to tell me that she's not good enough to have her own book? She's good enough to be a supporting cast, and I have no idea why they're looking at Megan Fox's Poison Ivy. Oh, can we please go with some Dallas Bryce on this one? I mean, Poison Ivy, come on. Or I'm sorry, Bryce Dallas Howard. Yes, Jurassic Park girl. Can we go with her for the movie instead of some Megan Fox? Stupid. But yes, she needs her own book. You need to go out. Like I said, I'm going to find some petitions. I'm going to put all that stuff in the description below. But we need to have a Poison Ivy freaking book, man. Do it. It's not hard. You already have the foundation there. It was already there before DC Rebirth. Put her in DC Rebirth. I know there's some characters that are going to be launching later in the Rebirth, Rebirth story arc. So go ahead, put her in there. Make a difference. Make your fans happy, because in the end, it's all about the fans, man. It is all about the fans. I can't fathom it. If I were, doing comics or whatever, and, there was a certain character that people loved, I would definitely make a comic out of her. I mean, Harley Quinn was supposed to be a punching bag. I don't know if you guys know this, but Harley Quinn was created in the Batman animated series. She didn't come out of the comics, and her whole purpose of being created was to be another layer to Joker, to show how sadistic he is, how awful he treated Harley Quinn. She was a punching bag. She got abused, but over a couple of years or whatever, she ended up being a favorite. Because she was a favorite, because the fans were behind her, they added layers to her. They made her special. They made her something, and now I can argue that she may be a bigger character than Joker, or not a bigger character, I'll say a more beloved character than Joker. It is a possibility, arguably a better beloved character than Joker. So she got her own comic in New 52. She got her own comic in DC Rebirth, and that's how it should be. So you should give her for the same reasons you gave Harley Quinn, regardless of why she was created in the beginning. She got that love from the fans and got her own comics. That's how it should be. Should be the same exact thing with Poison Ivy. She got the love from the fans. She should get her own comics. This is a no-brainer, and I cannot understand why on earth they're not doing this. And for this section, I wanted to primarily show the awesome, art and a little bit of the comic panels here for Poison Ivy, because it's a lot better than seeing my face right now. But this is very important to the fans. It's very important to the fans. It's very important to the Poison Ivy League. Very, very important. Very, very important to the people out there who love and enjoy DC Comics. Marvel has done so many things right in the movies and so many things wrong in the comics. And I feel like DC, they're starting to get their stride in the movies, but they've done everything right in the comics. Please do not let this thing be one of those things that you get wrong, or you're starting to go down that path that Marvel is. Please, let's not have that be the case. And if you're watching the show and you're a fan of the Kombat AllStar show, or a fan of DC Comics, or a fan of Poison Ivy, I'm going to leave everything in the description below so you guys can check it out, sign petitions, and spread awareness on it. Shout out to Randy, who let me know on this, let me know and hit me up to what's going on. That, my friends, is his Twitter handle, so good guy, go out and follow him. Shout out to the Hot Cosbys. Please, if you like this show, like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, y'all,